Everyone else, we're going to start with the car sector and an attempt to reverse the fortunes of Peugeot Citroën. The board of the French carmaker has now given the stamp of approval to a capital increase. It will see the Chinese carmaker Dongfeng and the French government each inject 800 million euros into the firm. In return, they'll get a 14% stake in Peugeot Citroën. The deal will also see one of France's oldest business dynasties ceding control of their empire. Catherine Clifford has more.
A family legacy dating back to 1810, when Peugeot started up as a maker of coffee grinders. Since then, a member of the car giant clan has always filled the post of chairman. But now a deal between Peugeot Citroën and China's Dongfeng would see chairman Thierry Peugeot lose his post. The rescue deal would see the Chinese automaker and French government each inject 800 million euros and take 14% stakes. The Peugeot family would then take a matching 14%, reduced from their current 25%. This would bring the family short of the hold required to veto decisions. Peugeot Citroën's among the hardest hit by a European slump in car sales, suffering a €5 billion loss in 2012. Experts say it's too dependent on the European markets.
The European market lacks support. Peugeot's found itself in fierce competition with the Germans without being able to fight back. It's not had the means to develop itself in the rest of the world.
The company's looking to diversify, and the Dongfeng deal could provide a foothold in the Asian market.
Peugeot's locked up in the European market. It doesn't have enough access to the Asian market where there's a lot of growth.
As the Peugeot family loosens its grip on its two-decade dynasty, will this price be enough to turn Peugeot around and set it on its feet in the global markets?
Now, Peugeot Citroën has been suffering as sales here in Europe have tumbled in recent years, but now the European car market is showing signs of shifting up a gear. Car sales in the European Union during January grew by more than 5% in comparison to the same month in 2013. It's the fifth month in a row that sales are heading higher, and it is fueling hopes that 2014 will be the year when the European car market turns around. Sales are heading higher from a low base, though 2013 was the weakest year for around 2 decades for the European car industry. And if we stay with cars, and we're looking at one of Europe's car makers that had a record-breaking year in 2013. Ferrari has posted a €246 million profit for last year. That's 5% more than in 2012. Even as the Italian car maker sold fewer cars, revenues also came in at an all-time high of €2.3 billion. Ferrari's success is seen to highlight the success of the luxury car sector, while the mass-market car industry is still suffering. Let's turn out to the stock markets, and here in Europe, shares in minor BHP Billiton pushed the FTSE in London higher for a third consecutive session. It was a little bit of a different picture across the other markets. The other main indices pretty close to the flat line, though, at the end of the session. In the United States, this session, with just 40 minutes or so left to go of trading, shares there trading slightly higher, bar the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is ever so slightly lower. And we are seeing those gains despite a disappointing report on confidence among US home builders. Let's take a look at some company news, and here's one potential deal helping shares over on Wall Street. Pharmaceutical company Actavis is buying the American firm Forest Laboratories for around $25 billion. The deal is meant to boost the presence of Ireland-based Actavis in the United States. Shares in Forest, they've been trading up by around 30% on this news. This as at least some shareholders believe that they could get a better offer. Candy Crush Saga is heading for Wall Street. The maker of the popular mobile phone game is getting ready to float its shares on the stock markets. Swedish company King is set to make its debut in the United States. Analysts predict the initial public offering could value the firm at $5 billion. Candy Crush Saga was the most downloaded free mobile phone application back in 2013. And speaking of 2013, that's the year when China overtook India as the biggest consumer of gold. Chinese consumers bought around a third more gold during 2013 than during 2012. Analysts say demand is heading higher in China as the middle class there is growing and as there are shortages of other investment opportunities. India has been at the top of the tables since the 1960s. That's the business news for now. I'm going to send it back to you, Chris. I'll be back again with more business news in around about an hour or so.
Thanks very much, Marcus. Time now for web news.